Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be making some cards with scraps of ribbon. And I'm going to show you a new Stampin' Die set I got. I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, first I want to show you the Stampin' Die set I got from Amazon. I don't think it was made in the USA, but I don't know if it's a company in the United States that made this, and then Amazon is selling it for somebody else, but the stamps aren't really great. Let me show you. This is this set of stamps. And what you do with them after you've stamped them out is you run them through this die. And they should line up. Now, I stamped this 2 or 3 times, and I still thought the images were kind of iffy. And then I did this one 2 or 3 times, and I also embossed it with clear embossing powder to make the black shinier, and this one came out better. I thought I would share this third one with you so you can see it, and I'll show you how you do this. Don't take them off of the plastic. That's my first note for you. Even if you don't have a stamp positioner like Misty, I don't recommend you taking it off the plastic because this is lined up so it will cut in this die. So once you take it off there, you've given yourself a little bit of a problem. Now what I did was I cut a little bit of the plastic off the bottom and top so it would fit in my mini Misty. So what I did was I cut a piece of paper to 4.5 inches by 6 inches tall. I laid the stamp in here and made sure that it fit bottom to top and that it was on the paper. And then I put a little bit of glue stick behind it so it attached to my Misty, and it's staying there. Then you're going to ink it up. I ink these up 3 times each because I wanted it to be super black, and you'll see once I do this the first time how it's not super, the images aren't super crisp. And you want to push your paper into the corner because you have no room for a magnet. And then you're going to stamp it. Let me do what I always do, and that is I rub my foot over it. When I have a big image like this, if you use any of the tools that you buy for it, it takes forever. My foot doesn't take very long. I don't push hard. I have a sock on. It works really great. That's what feet are for. So I don't know if you can see this, but it doesn't have a really even look to it. Like the letters look kind of waffly almost because the plastic or whatever this is, the rubber, whatever this material is that it's used, that they use for it, it doesn't have a really good, it doesn't really take the ink that well. So you want to make sure again that this is pushed back, the paper is pushed back into your corner, and then close your door. I would say if you want to buy these stamps that you have to have some kind of stamp positioner because you have to make sure that you stamp this more than once because, like I said, the first impression is not crisp at all. The second impression is a little bit better. I found, as I said, that the third impression really seemed to be the sweet spot where it looked like the letters were all inked. Just saying. And of course, the embossing makes a big difference too. Push it back into the corner, make sure it's in there so you don't have your, oh look, I screwed that up already. Got a little smudge. Let me rub this one. I use fine detail clear embossing powder because I think it works best for pretty much everything. And I'm just going to use some paper under it so that we can get a good inking, a good powdering, and don't lose any of the powder onto the floor. I did use my embossing buddy that's just you're using something that has a pouch that has either baby powder or cornstarch in it, and that makes it so that your paper doesn't hold any fingerprints, or if you have any lotion on your hands, it doesn't hold on to that, and it makes it so that it when you put the powder on, it doesn't cling. The powder won't cling to everything. And now we're going to use my tool. You have to heat it up for probably 10 to 15 seconds. Sorry if this is repetitive for those of you who are experienced stampers, but you just move it across until the black turns from a matte black to a shiny black. So let's run this through our die cutter. Now, when you do this, it's really important that you line it up, and then you're going to have to tape it down because you want to make sure that your images are where you want them to be in the die. Oh, I got it upside down. I knew I had something going amiss. Okay. The easiest way to know if you have it in right is by looking at either the sides or the top, because the long sentiment on the side, if I like on the bottom, this is 2 sentiments, and on the top it's 1 sentiment. So that's kind of why how you figured out. It's pretty easy. I think washi tape works fine for this. And if you have any Dollar Tree washi tape, that works good. My paper really kind of needed to be longer than this, but my Mini Misty wouldn't hold longer paper than this, so it was kind of a bummer. I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to put the tape right there. When you're taping a die, you want to tape the outer edge, not the inner edge, because the outer edge will make it so that you don't have to worry about your image having, oh, that's a little bit too high. Okay, that's better. Okie doke, let me run it through. I have a Vagabond by Tim Holtz, if you didn't know. I really like it. It's the only electric die cutting machine that was really accessible price-wise when I started doing this. And so I wanted to make sure I had one that was electric because I couldn't use the ones that were manual. Let me do the other two and I'll be right back. The 2 stamp sets that go with this die I really liked. But this third one, I have to say, I think it's really cheaply made. The lining this one up, the edges are, on some of them are like a waffle design, and no, I didn't like this set. Here, let me look at this one. See this one, how it has that weird crimp around the edges? Why does it have that one edge that's so odd? It's just strange. I would never use that. And then this is what they look like after I stamped them 3 times. And then the hearts, the size of the heart and where the heart was, even though I tried, see, I had this one lined up perfectly. This one is completely off center. And the star is, I think it's weird the way that it's cut. Let me show you that. Here's the other star. This set was very inexpensive. It was, I think, maybe $11.97 or $13.97, and for that many stamps and dies, it's really, I think, a good deal. But to be fair, I don't think I would use any of the things that I printed and cut out of this set. I thought they were really sloppy. Now let me show you what we're going to do with it. I made one card already so that you could get the idea of how to use your ribbon as a scrap, basically. What I did was I took some of my scraps. I'm going to do this with you, but I just thought I'd show you one of them. I took my scraps of ribbon and I just put them on this card, or on this. This is a 4-inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of mirror cardstock, and I thought that maybe I could wrap the ribbon around the underside of these, but it didn't work well. So I'm trimming off all the ribbon from the back, and this one has wire on the edge of it. And what I did with this was I took tear tape and I glued it right to the card base, and that made it a lot easier. I tried first by putting the tear tape directly onto the ribbon, and that was kind of problematic. So what I would say to you is, if you're wondering which way to do it, the best way I found was to put it on the card and then put the ribbon on the tear tape. And I'm going to use some foam. This is just Kids Fun Foam, and this is what I'm going to use to raise my card, or my front of my card. I don't know what we're going to call that. And we're going to attach it to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. And then I'm going to show you, we'll put a sentiment on it and call this one done. But I wanted to practice first before we made a card together, because I wanted to work out all the bugs. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. So I'm making a 5 1/2 inch long by 4 1/4 inch tall card, and I'm going to layer it with this piece that is a 1/4 inch shorter, so it is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I've put some tear tape on the ends, and I've put this Avery glue stick in the center, so that hopefully my ribbon will stay where I put it. You know how that goes. You don't know until you try it. So we've got both ends done, and I thought, I can't decide if I want to go diagonally, up and down. I think I'm going to go, I have these 3 Stampin' Up! Retired old ribbons that I think are fun, that look like this. Hopefully they're not flying everywhere that you can't see them. And I want to start my top and my bottom with the color that matches the card base. The card base is like a lavender, and this is in the purple family. And I've already got a little wrinkle in it. Okay, so I need to, sorry if I'm a little bit off camera, but I need to make sure that my ribbon is at the very top of the card, and it looks like at this point it's just a little bit off. Okay, then I'm going to do, I guess I'll do the red. I'm going to butt these up against each other for now. Oops. And hopefully they'll look good in the end. And then as soon as, whoops, you can see that one. Then I'm going to put a row after these 3. I'm going to go with a row of it's just like a seam binding. This is where I'm going to put my sentiment, I think. My ribbon's fighting me. This seam binding one I didn't cut off of its spool, so the spool is right behind me. The thing I like about doing this with ribbon if you've ever bought Stampin' Up! Ribbon, you get a lot of ribbon. More ribbon than any card maker would ever use. So I don't have a problem playing with this and using it as scrap because there is just so much of it. And so like I said, I don't feel bad using it. Do one more row of this. I'm hoping that this works out, that I end up having exactly the right numbers of the ribbons. I think my next one I'm going to make a rainbow pattern and maybe include glitter. The reason I put the tear tape on the ends of this is I didn't know if in the long run if the glue stick would hold up. But if you have your ends attached onto tear tape, I think it will hold it secure and for good. Just saying. Got the piece here bugging me. Perfect. Now all we have to do is trim it down, put our sentiment on. I already have my sentiment. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this end is kind of, I don't know, a little bit ratty looking. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my guillotine trimmer, I'm just going to put the very smallest amount there in the end so that we can cut off anything that looks a little bit fuzzy. Now, I'm going to put You're So Thoughtful up on foam pieces. There's that. Now let's see about a bow. Okay, so we're going to use the bow jig, and when you use a bow jig, the distance between these two dowels is the length or the width of your bow. And I'm going to have my loose end of my ribbon on the right. And I'll show you more about that in a second. I don't know if I should I can't decide if I want to do two bows or like a double bow. I'm going to try it. I've done this before, but it's hard when you have this kind of ribbon because it's not as easy to turn, twist, whatever. Knot. I'm going to say it that way. It's harder to knot that. Okay, so you're going to wrap it around so that you're completely around both your poles. Then you're going to take the right hand piece and you're going to take it into the middle like that. You follow that? Hold on to it tight. Then you're going to pull it over the top. You want to make sure when you pull it over the top that you've got those two pieces centered, you know, on each other. The purple piece centered on the white piece. Then you're going to take it and you're going to knot it with the piece on the right. Before you do this step, make sure that these two pieces are lined up the way you want them to be. And I'm going to try and knot it. This is the hardest part for me because it takes some strength to do it. What I'm looking at is the back of my bow. You're looking, this is the front, this is the back. So then you just slide it off. There's our bow. You can mess with it and make it however you want to. You could turn it so that it's sideways like this if you wanted to, or you can just make it so that the legs, or what do you call those? The tails are hanging down, or you can have no tails at all. And if you have no tails, you need to double knot it in the back. So if I wanted to do it so it doesn't come apart, you just are gonna do one more knot. I know I've got a lot of ribbon here going on, so just ignore the ribbon. But I think what I'm gonna do to make this a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna cut off the extra white ribbon. as close to the bow as I can do it, because remember we knotted it there, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then on the other side too. Okay, now what we're left with is this bow. I'm gonna see if I can put some glue dots on the back of that so that it holds the pieces in place. And my other little strip. What do you think of that bow? Weird? Cute? Alrighty. Now I'm just going to put it up on some foam. And we'll attach this and call it good. I probably should try to slide that down, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Then I think I'm going to put tear tape around this. We'll make sure it's well adhered and that our card is all in one piece, hopefully. Okay, so there it is. I think it's cute. I think it looks good. I'm going to be making a few more, and I'll just show you those because I don't think you really want to watch me make 100 of these. But I think they're fun to do, and I'm enjoying it, so I'm just going to make some more, and after I'm done with them, I'll show them. I think I stopped with those 4, but I might be wrong. I made this one with a ribbon that had these poppies on it, and then I just put black and red ribbons, and then these 2 sentiments that I had already cut out. This one, I just used a variety of ribbons, and then I put a couple of little Dollar Tree stickers on either side. This one, I used the Dollar Tree diamond wrap, I think it's called, and a regular green ribbon, and then this is a washi tape. That I thought was fun. And then I put the little enamel dots. This one I think is my favorite. Well, that red one with the poppies is pretty cool too. I like this one because this is loose and I put it over a blue ribbon, so it all's ribbon. I mean, everything is ribbon. I mean, that was my goal, was to use all ribbon. This one, I'm not sure I love it, but I thought it would be fun to use it because this peacock feather was so bright and frisky. I'm not sure if I love it or not. Let me know what you guys think. So there they all are. I made a lot with ribbon, and I hope you enjoyed this and that you give it a try. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.